Hey there, what's going on? Welcome to another video of Exploring My Life. And I've been a little bit away from doing videos for a long time, and it is because I've been busy in doing other things. I have been also kind of focusing on my career, and also, let's be honest, I have been procrastinating a little bit about this project, but I really want to retake this and to give you more value on the videos about everything about Malta, relocating in Malta, and how to settle down, and etc. So I just wanted to keep going with those kind of videos, and today, for example, I want to talk about the accommodation, which is something that I did like 2 or 3 times since I've been in Malta. I have moved from one place to another, and there are some important things that you need to do and you need to know also in order to do it properly. So just wanted to explain you in this video those key things that you need to know. And the first one is going to be about how to find an accommodation, right? So in Malta here, there are mainly two ways that you can find an accommodation. The first one is Facebook. So especially Facebook groups and the Facebook marketplace. Those are the two ways that I recommend you to look for accommodation and do the research and the searching, because they usually have very up-to-date listings over there. So definitely that's the way to go. I'm gonna leave in the description the links of some Facebook groups that are very useful that you can check if you are actually looking to move. Okay, the second way is actually go into one of the agency website and check all the available listings that they have there. All right, the problem with that is that they usually have many listings, but they are not up to date. So you will find out that whenever you want to get in touch regarding one specific listing, most of the time, like 80 to 90% of the time, they will tell you, oh, I'm sorry, this has been already taken and is not available anymore, but I have another one available. So that is a little bit kind of annoying because they don't have like an updated website with the listing. You can find those updated listings in the Facebook marketplace on those specific Facebook groups that I was talking about right before. So that's why the first option is the one I recommend. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about the agency fees, about the agency. All right, because here in Malta, you will find that 90% of the time that you are going to look for accommodation, you are going to do it by an agency. So those Facebook groups and the Facebook marketplace are really filled with listings from those agencies. The thing is that it comes with a price. Of course, the agency is not free, and I know that in some countries the agency fee is usually paid by the landlord, but in Malta, no. In Malta, it's paid by the tenant. So it's the tenant who pays the agency fee. So you really need to have this cost in mind. And usually the agency fee here in Malta is around 50% of the full rent. So you need to have this money and this cost on mind. The good thing about renting with an agency is that the agency usually provide you with the contract for the landlord or for the tenant. That is a contract that is totally aligned with the Maltese law, which is something that is very cool, because sometimes whenever you rent directly from the owner or directly from the landlord, you find out that some rules are not really followed over there. So maybe when you rent from an agency, you have this peace of mind that you have a contract that is aligned with the Maltese law, and also the agent usually give you recommendation on how everything works and really tell you everything about that. So that's why it's also very good to do by an agency. Now let's talk about a little bit of the type of contract that we have here in Malta when you are going to looking for a rent agreement here. And you have mainly two types of contracts. So the first one is going to be for the 6-month contract, which is the short-term let contract. Okay, so those contracts are, as I said before, 6 months or less. And you also have the long-term contracts, which are those that have at least 1 year of duration. And inside those long-term contracts, you have the 1-year contract, 2-year contracts, and 3-year contract or above. Okay, so in the case of the 1-year contract, this means that in that contract you need to be in the accommodation that you agree to be in at least 6 months, and after that you can leave the accommodation giving 1 month of notice. Okay, in the 2-year contract you have to be in the accommodation at least 9 months, and after that you can give 2 months notice if you want to leave. And for the 3 years accommodation, you need to be in the accommodation at least 1 entire year, and after that entire year you can give like 3 months of notice period. Okay, so this is how it works. And now you will be asking, what if I want to leave earlier than the period that I want to stay? Like, for example, let's say that you have a 1-year contract that you need to stay at least 6 months, but what if you want to leave before 6 months? Okay, you can leave before 6 months, but if you do, the landlord can take the whole deposit and is not forced to give you back the deposit if you leave before those 6 months. The same happens for the 2 years and 3-year contracts. So this is something that is important to keep in mind. And talking about deposits, it is important to keep in mind as well that the deposit here in Malta, by law, it has to be 1 month of rent. Okay, so again, you need to have this money on hand whenever you are going to rent. You need to keep in mind that you need to got the 1 month of rent deposit plus first month of rent plus the agency fee. Okay, those are the costs that you need to keep in mind when you move inside the island. Other things that you should keep in mind here is that landlords need to register your tenancy with the housing authority in Malta. It's the landlord who has to do that and not you. So you need to acknowledge that. You hire for an agency, the agency will actually explain you that. And once the landlord registers your tenancy with the housing authority, you will usually receive an email with all the details. Okay, so the details for this email are very important in case that you want to terminate the contract of agreement. So you usually need to mention that in the resignation email, right? So that is one of the important things that you should keep in mind. And another one is the moving. Okay, so whenever you are moving from one place to another, you'll probably need to hire a moving company. So when it comes to hiring a moving company, the first thing that you need to have in mind is that you need to call the council and ask them for permission to park in a specific area, and you need to call the council like at least 72 hours before the moving, so they will be able to give you some kind of print papers, and you can put it in front of your house so no one is going to park around there. So whenever you are going to move with your van or with a van that you hire, they can park over there. Okay, so that's a little bit everything for today. So I really hope that you have got a lot of value about how to move or how to find an accommodation in Malta and what are the rules that apply when it comes to that, so you don't get scammed by the landlord. So if you really received value from this video, I really encourage you to give a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, because this will really help me a lot with building this channel and actually making more videos that are useful for Malta like this one. Alright, so I'm gonna give you right below a guide where you can also find the average cost of the accommodation depending on the area that you move into. Okay, it's quite useful, so definitely I encourage you to check out. So it's gonna be for free, so go ahead and check the cost of accommodation because it's gonna be useful for you. And again, thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.